I can get a DK and a worsted weight shawl done in a week. That's ridiculous. Of course I can. Who do you think I am? Come on. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. It's very bright in here. I had to change the lighting setup because it's really cloudy today and we're not getting any sun in. So I'm gonna try to keep my glasses down so you don't get that glare. This is episode 34. We are going to plan August projects. As you know, August is the start of fall for me. That's when I start planning my fall projects, which doesn't even make a difference because we're still working on our design, so that doesn't even matter. Okay, so before we get to this, let me get to what I'm wearing. This is my shawl design, Michelle, which is available for free on our website. She uses one skein of fingering weight. This colorway is Harlot from Tina's Twisted Fibers, and this is in her sock base, which is a merino nylon blend that has 463 yards. I'll include a link below. I don't know if she's dyeing any of these up, but she should be soon because it's fall time, and I think that's when she dyes it. I don't think it's a Valentine's Day color. I think this is a fall color. Anyway, if you just ask her, I'm sure she'll dye one up for you. Yeah. Okay, so okay. Do you remember a few episodes back, I don't recall what episode, but I was theorizing to myself that if 100 grams of yarn was 100 grams of yarn, no matter what the yardage was, then with the right needle size, you should be able to get a shawl in about the same size, right? Do you remember me saying that? Okay, if you don't, I did say that. Because that's something that I've always thought about, was if this is 100 grams and this is 100 grams, why can't I make one shawl? If I can make one in fingering, why can't I make one in worsted weight? Okay, so here's what I did. First of all of the measurements for the Eleanors last week were wrong because I had used a measuring tape that was not correct. So none of those were right, which is why I thought that I was like, these look a little off, because like it said, the fingering was only 50 inches across, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure her wingspan was like 60. Like, I'm pretty sure it was closer to 60, so that's like 10 inches off. So what I did was I remeasured them with a different measuring tape. And then I threw that old one away. And then I did two other things. One, I reblocked the sport weight version, because if you recall, when I blocked this, I still had those lifelines in it, and it didn't block to my satisfaction. So I cut those all out and I reblocked it, which was my plan anyway. I just didn't get to it before last week's because we had some rain. But this past week was really sunny, so I got to reblock a lot of stuff I had to do. I also did, this was the other Eleanor, the prototype that was too shallow. So what I did is I pulled it out, rehanked it, soaked it, let it dry, and then I caked it back up. And I worked Eleanor worsted weight 218 yards on 6mm needles. Now if you recall, this one's made on 5.5. So after I did that, I extreme blocked. I call it Extreme blocking TM. If you saw on my Instagram, my mats were folded up and it looked like a stingray or a manta ray, like it was huge, like curved up. And I did that on purpose so I could get the most extreme blocking that I could out of them. Now, if you're going to block, I like to say aggressively. If you like to block aggressively, as I do, you have to be careful of a few things. First of all, these are my suggestions. Your mileage may vary. I like to make sure my fibers are very, very wet. I like to get them very, very wet. I like to soak them for like half hour minimum. And then I'll roll them out in a towel. Sometimes I put it in the spin dryer if I have more than one, but I typically don't block more than one shawl at a time because I only have enough of those knit blocker. What are those? The combs, the pin combs. I can't think of what they're called. But anyway, those things. I only have one box of those, and I don't know why. I should have like 3 of them. But anyway, I only have enough room to block one shawl at a time. Actually, if I needed to do a bigger shawl, I'd probably need a whole other thing. I should get another one of those. So then I did it on the 6s. I blocked it as aggressively as I could. Then what I did is I re-soaked the original 5.5 and then blocked it as aggressively as I could, because I don't think I blocked these aggressively the first time. I don't think I did. And I know Sport Weight did not get aggressively blocked, but I know that Fingering Weight sure did get aggressively blocked because I got her all the way up the corner of the mat. I remember that, and I was like, that's kind of weird, because when I did this one, I did not get up. Well, it was like, because I measure like this. When I measure like this, the end of the mat, and where my piece is, I measure like that to both ends, because I'm sitting there, so I'll be like at both ends of the mat like this, going, how far from the end of the mat are we? And then because I want them to match. That's my whole point, is that they match. Now, how far you can stretch them on the mat is not how stretched out they're going to be, because once you release, they're going to spring back a little bit, and you're going to lose some inches. So what I do is I just lay them out for a couple. Oh my God, what happened here? Oh, no big deal. Okay, I just got caught on something. Oh my God, it's a heart attack. After I block them, I lay them out. Just lay them out anywhere for a day or so. Let them relax and come back to whatever shape they're going to be. This is flaring a little bit. Not as much flare as this. Anyway, they had the same bind off. I think this is what I mean when I don't like the bind off if it's too big. But that also could have been how I laid her out afterwards. I wasn't real careful. Or it could just be how I have her on here, because I also wasn't very careful. Anyway, what I have for you is updated measurements, which I am going to put on the website. When I get this, and then I'm just going to read it to you so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top with fingering. Fingering weight. Is this all in frame? Fingering weight. Oh my goodness, seriously. Fingering weight was 3.5 millimeter needles with 463 yards, and that gave us a wingspan of 56 and a depth of 22. Sport Weight was done on 4 millimeter needles with a yardage of 328, and that gave us 52 wingspan and a depth of 19. Now, if you look at the DK, you'll realize that's missing, and that's, we'll get to that in a minute when we get to whips. Now, we have 2 worsted weights here, and you'll see the first worsted weight was done on 5.5 millimeter needles, and the 218 yardage, which is the same for both. Now, the one done on 5.5 needles gave us a wingspan of 50 and a depth of 20, while the next one made with 6 millimeter needles gave us a wingspan of 52 and a depth of 20. So you really only got 2 inches, and that's after the extreme blocking of both and the following relaxation. I don't know. So my point here is that if you wanted to, okay, a lot of the finished size of your shawl is going to depend on how well you block. Okay, not how well, how aggressively you block, because I wish I had thought to take measurements again before, because I didn't, at that point I did not know my measurements were wrong. It wasn't until I was like, wow, these are really off by like 10 inches. This has to be wrong. So, because I'm not that great with a measuring tape, but I can tell a difference of 10 inches. So, my point is, if you want to, it also depends on what kind of fabric you like, because this is very, very open and drapey. It's very much like this. So I am actually preferring this because I like to, like this, scrunch it around. I like to wrap it around. Not wrap it around. I only like it wrapped around once, but I liked it like accordion folded up here like this. And this one you could, but it's going to be a little bit bunchier. So I actually prefer this one because it feels most like, if you like your fingering shawls that are light and airy, but still, because I think that even though there's, you can see this very much, that this is very open. Okay, it's very open. But when you scrunch it up, I think those air pockets help keep you warmer. And so if this can scrunch up more than this one, I think this one is actually going to be warmer. Plus, it's faster working on 6s. So, but if you don't want to scrunch it up, you could even go down to 5. Down to 5. And then just block the heck out of it. Block it as hard as you can, but be careful that you don't snap. I've never snapped anything. Never have I snapped a shawl. Watch me, like my next one will snap. But this is still a little too stiff for me when I feel it against this, and especially when I love the feel of fingering weight shawls. So if you love the feel of fingering weight shawls, if you love the feeling of your DK weight shawls, then go after that. If you love the feel of your sport weight shawls, these all feel the same to me. I think I got them to where they are the same because I love the feel of this scrunchy. So I prefer the bigger one, just for the feel. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm trying to decide which one to put in the pattern now because I did release Eleanor and I forgot to put the needle sizes in the pattern, which is okay because in the thing I tell you to just use whatever needle size you're comfortable with, whatever makes a fabric that you like. That's what I always say, that's most important. And here I'm showing that to you. Whichever fabric you like is more important. If you like the airier, if you like the bulkier, pick one that you like, because ultimately you're the one that's going to be wearing it. So that's what matters. So the shape, the size is up to you. If you want, so go for the fabric you want, because then you're going to be happy with it no matter what size it is. So, yes. Okay. So that brings us to whips. And here's what I did. Okay. Hello. DK Eleanor is back. She's not quite finished. And I noticed in the last one, as soon as I put it up to light, you couldn't see anything anymore. So I'll use my body to shield you, and you can see her colors. Wait, it'll be this way. I guess we kind of still get this tiger stripe. It's just a different tiger stripe, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to see. Anyway, what I did with Eleanor, if you can see. She hasn't been blocked, but I went up to a 5, okay? I went up to a 5 because I didn't like that there was no change between this and the smaller worsted. So I said, okay, this isn't right. I was just so unhappy with how that all came out. So I'm down to literally 15 grams. Here's my 15 grams. So I am about to start measuring for her bind off. So I'm going to put her on Instagram when she's done. Probably, she'll be done today. And then tomorrow, I'll probably block her tomorrow. I have dyeing to do tomorrow, but I'll probably block. It's cold and cloudy today, so I can't do anything outside. I can't do swatches. I can't do blocking. So I can't do anything today because the weather's not cooperating. So she'll be done tomorrow sometime. Oh my God, look at that. I love when it looks like, I always call it the ISR, and it always looks like some eye, right? Some eye. I really like how this one's working up more than the, oh, look, here's one right here. Look at that. Look at that. I am enjoying how this one's pooling. Not so much the last one. I didn't get a lot of pooling, so maybe I needed the 5mm. I'm not sure, but I am very excited to see how big she gets. I'll probably give you measurements of all the Eleanors on my Instagram when this one's done. Naughty Knitting Sacks on Etsy. She is doing an update today, Friday the 23rd, so get your bags. My other whip is sport weight Linda that I have not touched all week. Because Linda had me so upset. I was so upset by Linda, by those measurements I got. I was like, this is all wrong. Nothing's right. And I couldn't figure it out. So I just that night, I took out the old Eleanor, the prototype that didn't work, and hanked it up, soaked it, and started the very next day. Obviously, I got on a mission. I got a thing in my head, and I was on a mission. So I redid that, and then after I blocked that, I blocked the other worsted, and then I immediately, I think before that, I had already undone the DK, soaked it, and it was ready to go as soon as I blocked the second worsted. Because I was like, oh, this is going on a bigger one, So I've done nothing else at all with anything. Don't look at me like that. So, let's talk about August. Do we have anything else to talk about? Am I done talking to you about Eleanor? Am I done talking about Eleanor? That was such, oh my gosh. That was so, like, ridiculous. Like, it's been an awful week because I haven't gotten anything done. I spent 2 days, yesterday and the day before, doing swatches. And then one whole swatches didn't even come out because I was dumb. And the other ones I did, and I didn't know if you guys wanted to see how I do swatches. I don't know how many of you are dyers that want to learn to dye, and how many of you don't care. These are 1 gram swatches. These are on 1 gram of yarn. They take 1 milliliter of dye and a little bit of acid, and then I steam them in a vegetable steamer that has like 3 tiers, and I put baskets in it. So I did, these are all getting done with the brown or the grays that I have. So I have platinum, silver gray, and tornado gray. And I want to tell you right now, tornado gray and twilight gray are super similar if you are using them to mix with other colors at 1%. If all things being equal, 1%, they're the same. Now I will tell you one thing about twilight gray. Twilight gray, if you mix it up in a stock solution, which I don't do. I only mix up stock solutions when I'm doing these. Otherwise, I do dye directly to the pot. I measure it and I put it directly in the pot. I don't mess around with dye, keeping dye stock. So, that being said, if you take twilight gray, these are from Dharma, if you take twilight gray and you leave it in a stock solution, it's going to turn blue. I think I've told you this before. It turns blue. And it's not a bad blue, and then I would call it a grayish blue, because it's more blue than gray at that point. Which would, if you're wanting to use it, like I said, that's what I glazed, or what I did, the Sport Weight ox blood I did with twilight gray, because I knew the twilight gray could go blue, which would give me a little bit of purple, at least a cool tone. But I'm not doing swatches in the twilight gray because the stock solution doesn't hold up. So instead I'm doing it in tornado gray, which I really, really like. I really like the tornado gray. What am I saying? I had a point. I forget what the point was. Do you know what it was? Tell me. I forgot. The point is, I got these done again. So let me know if there's any interest in, because we do have some open, I think we have an open one in August, I think. And I know we have some in November. I didn't know if you'd want me to walk you through how to do this, but I could probably do that with pictures on the website, which is what I wanted to do anyway. If you guys wanted to learn how to do these. But I was kind of upset. I got up today and it was cold. I'm like, oh, I can't finish my things, because I only have a couple more days. But today it's cold, and then the next 2 days are going to be nice, so I can do it. So what are we doing? August, Dana. August is Dana. So it's going to be the 23rd. How many days are left? I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening. I know DK Eleanor will be done today, and then past that, I have no idea. Like, do you get stuck on things like that where you're just like, you zero in and that's like, I get these blinders on. I'm like the horse with the blinders, and all I can see is Eleanor. It's maddening. Okay, so today for me is the 21st. So I have a whole... Okay, guys, here's my plan. Y'all, here's my plan. Today's the 21st. So I'm going to finish Eleanor today, block her tomorrow, and then Thursday and Friday I'm going to continue dyeing my swatches. So then 24th, 25th, probably 26th, because remember the last Eleanor took me 3 days. So we'll see if the last DK Eleanor took me 3 days. So we'll see if this DK Linda takes me 3 days. So that should get me to Monday. So then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have all that time to finish Sport Linda, which will be fine. So now that I have everything, now that we're set on she's going to get remeasured because I might redo her in a 6. Do you guys think it mattered? I mean, how close are we? 56 to 52. I think I want to redo them on the 6. Plus, it's faster. I'm going to put them up to 6. I'm going to get rid of the 5.5 and the 4.5 for the DK. So we'll go up to... Do you think the 4 is still okay for the Sport? Do you think the Sport is 52 to 19? Oh, maybe the Sport should go up to 45. Oh my God, what am I doing to myself? Do we want the Sport to go up to 4.5? Okay, so no, it's still in the same. I'll do that later. Because I like that one. That's like my second favorite one. I don't care if it's bigger. Okay. Do you see it? Nothing is ever good enough. Nothing is ever good enough for me. Never. It's never good enough for me. I always am like, better. Do it better. Find a better way to do it. Okay, so for August. Really, all we have time for in August is Dana, because we got to do fingering. You think I should leave worsted? Because it's... I don't know how to write them up. I don't know how to write them up in the pattern if I'm going to do a 5.5 or a 6. Because I'm thinking if I do a 6, not many people are going to block as aggressively as me, so you have a better chance of, at the 6, getting to the size. That's what I think I'm going to do. Okay, so Dana's going to get redone. So that means next month, or August, we have fingering weight Dana, DK and Sport Dana, plus worsted Dana, if we're going to redo her. Which is great, then I can get rid of it. Here's the thing, guys. If you ever come across a knot in a skein that's like from somewhere manufactured, don't just work it and don't just keep going. Please don't just keep going, because you know what happened? This snapped when I was blocking her. It snapped. It snapped. So I kind of wanted to redo her anyway. So we're going to redo her. So we're going to redo. But we're going to keep the Sport on the 4, right? Because I'm doing a Sport right now. Do I need to restart before I finish? You better tell me now. No, because I liked the size of the sport. We're leaving sport as is. And maybe someday. Okay, so Dana on all weights next month. I don't think we're going to have time to do anything else, honestly. I do have to dye sport weight and DK, which I didn't figure out yet, but I started with yellow and greens. So I was thinking, and purples are next. So because her thing is blackened rose, it's like a pinky purple. So I figured we'll have some, because deep magenta is after blue. So and then we go into purples. So those are the colors I'm trying to get done so I can figure out what we're going to do with her. Right, and then the next month is Maya, and then we're all finished. Okay, so there are 2 things for fall that I for sure want to start on, but I'm not sure I'm going to start on them in this month. I also don't think I'm going to get to do my shorts, but I need to do those shorts before the project is too far out of my mind and I forget. So the second that I have a lull, I don't know where that's coming from, because the next 2 months I think we're booked doing 4 shawls a month. I'm just going to be booked. I can't see any, unless it's totally a nighttime project, which I guess it could be. But I'm thinking I should just go sit down with the pattern and write down everything. I pretty much think I have everything written down for those shorts. I desperately don't want to lose any of that, because I want to that's like one of the first things I want to do when I'm done with this. And I'm going to start my cardigan, the Zephyr cardigan that I've been wanting to do forever. But other than that, we have the Brianna reunion capelet, I think. I'll link it below. I've already made 2 of them. One was in acrylic, just to see, get a feel if I liked the construction, and I did that to pattern, I think. And then I did it on 2 different colors that I did not like the 2 colors together. It looked too like circusy. So what I did was I bought some Knit Crate. It was on sale. I got like a bag of 5. Super bulky, like a dark brownie black, I think it was. And so I have the yarn I'm going to use for it, and the pattern is free. It's just, and that's a quick pattern. So maybe if I get the worsted and the DKs done on the weekends, because like I said, I like to do those big ones on the weekends. How many weekends do we have in August? Okay, so, oh wow, our dye day is the very, very first of the month, because that's the first Monday is the 2nd. Okay, so 7 and 8 we could do worsted Dana. 14, 15, and probably 16 we could do DK Dana. And in between we'll do fingering. And then once that Dana's done, fingering should be done, no, you think? I don't know, maybe. Then we can either start sport weight on the weekend or wait till the fingering weight's done, and then that'll bring us the 21 to the 22nd. By that time, fingering weight's got to be done, because we don't have that many other things to do. So that leaves us a week and a half to do the cowl or the capelet, which would take maybe 2 days. I don't think it would take me 3 days. So that's one of the things, because I like to wear it on top of a sweater, like instead of, you don't have to wear a jacket, you can just wear this capelet and you wear a pin and it's gorgeous. Anyway, I also have 2 red skeins of that zebra fingering, and it's like an apple-y, like red apple color, like it's different shades of red, and it just screams fall to me. But I'm not sure it's a dark enough red, and I was debating making it a little bit more red and then over dyeing it with some black so it's more like a burgundy red. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of thinking of doing that before we do it, because I don't know, maybe I should keep I got to take a look at the color again. But I mean, I'll show it to you next month, because next month is the beginning and end of the month, and that's when I show you all the skeins that we're ready to do this month. So I'll probably take this one apart and have it ready to go. Then the other two are undyed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We should have, those are two projects that, but see, that's the two skeins that I'll probably would I just do Eleanor? See, I don't know, because I don't know if I do I want to do Eleanor? Because part of me now is waiting for when I figure out the stockinette version of these bias. So stuff might be on hold from that. August is all Dana. August, then September will all be Maya. But remember, fingering weight Maya is practically done because we're using Eleanor. So I just have to scale back 30 grams and do that and redo that, which will be easy. So then by the end of September, I should be able to do that reunion cowl if I haven't done it before then. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Did we even it doesn't matter. Did we get everything done for summer that we wanted to? No. No, we didn't. Because we were too busy with these designs. Okay, red zebra. Oh, I also have a Madeline Tosh set. Maybe I'll show that to you next week. It's a single ply. Maybe I could find something cool mosaic-wise to do for that, maybe. Oh, I also had planned to do a mohair hat, which I'm not going to do. Maybe I'll just look up mohair projects on Ravelry and see what I find. If you have any suggestion for a mohair pattern that is, I mean, I still want something I'll wear, but I don't want to bother making an entire fingering weight sweater with mohair right off the bat and then going, no, I hate mohair. Like, I'd like to make something like as a trial. Can I make a shawl out of mohair? Can you make a mohair shawl? Can I like hold that with fingering? Because I have a batch that's like fingering and mohair together. It's like one of they're dyed together, but they're black and white. So I was just gonna drop it in like a burgundy bath and let all the white go burgundy. Which is why I bought the black and white one, because they didn't have any colors I liked. Maybe I'll do that and then make an Eleanor. Can I make an Eleanor? Would you do mohair in garter, or would you do it in stockinette? Because if we're going to do it in stockinette, then I'm just going to wait, because I'm sure during the winter time I'll come up with this, because I still have to design the Cash Aaron shawl that I wanted to make. Remember that? And I'm pretty sure that's going to have to be stockinette. Maybe that's what I design my stockinette on. My Cash Aaron. Well, I would just do Aaron and not mess with the cashmere till after. Yeah, one skein stock bias shawl. They know what I'm doing already. I'm never getting a break from designing. It's like I feel like it's never gonna stop. So I'm gonna have to like harness it in. Guys, I'm so tired of designing. Like I've had it. I've so had it. Like, how are you an indie dyer and a designer at the same time? Like, is it possible? Like, do you just dye and then skeins to make? Because I guess I could see dyeing your own skein to that particular design. But you know me, I can't design one. I gotta design it in all weights. Like, that's my thing. It has to be done in all weights. See, once these are done, once these single weights, single skeins are done, then I'm going to start really designing with the same shapes. Like I want this bias garter and I want the bias stockinette, and then I'm going to really come in with mosaic and more than one color, and that's when the designing is really going to start. So I feel like this is just to get off to start. I'm not going to do these top down. I don't care. I want to do the bias garter and the bias stockinette, and then I'm going to do all my ideas. Did I make a plan? We're going to go up to the 6 for, yeah, I'm going to have to redo Linda on the 6. That's fine. You know why? Because it won't take that long. I'll soak it out tonight, and we'll tomorrow it'll air out. I still got to do DK though. Oh my God. Okay. Today. Okay, I'm going to buckle down on sport. Okay, I'm going to buckle down on sport because sport's almost done. So we'll get sport done this weekend. Sport will be done this weekend. Then next week, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All week. I can get a DK and a worsted weight shawl done in a week. That's ridiculous. Of course I can. Who do you think I am? Come on. Okay, that's the plan. Oh, I should write that down before I forget. What did I say? I have to feed kittens, and now I don't know what the heck I'm doing, so I feel like that's just the running theme of my show is like, what are we doing? I don't know. Do you know? Could you imagine if this was a business and you worked here, how you'd be like, hey, what needle size? What needle size are we doing Eleanor on today? And I'd be like, I don't know. What kind of fabric do you like? Do that one. And let's see. But we have deadlines. I'd be like, do we though? Do we have deadlines? Okay, so DK Eleanor, Sport Linda, DK Linda. Okay, let's do this then. Oh, crap. We'll do DK Eleanor today. We could start DK Eleanor immediately after that. And I can wet down, like I said, I'm going to wet down Eleanor. Worsted weight Linda. I'm going to take her down, wet her down, get her ready. So as soon as DK Eleanor's done, I'll do DK Linda. Because then if we need to, we can buckle down on a sport. I don't think that'll be too hard if we have to, but I'd like to do a little bit of it doesn't have to be this one. And you know what? I don't feel like this one is too open either. So I'm wondering, we could always, I'm not even done with this one. We could always take this apart. Because that's not even a full one yet. Okay, I'm going to decide I'm going to think on that a little bit more and decide what to do. Okay. Signing off because I have to feed cats. I hope you enjoy when I am more confused at the end of an episode than I was at the beginning. I hope it's like entertaining. Is it entertaining for you? Are you like I don't know. Is it an endearing quality? I don't, because I'm tired of it. I'm like, can we just pick something and stick with it? But I've always worried about having the 3.5 for the fingering and the 4 for the sport as too close together gauge-wise. That's always been a thing for me, so I don't know. All right, anyway, signing off. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week, hopefully with some answers. Watch that Instagram for updates. Bye, guys.